All this action from the Volkswagen Cup is proudly brought to you by Engen Primax Unleaded, Volkswagen Motorsport, and their associate sponsors.
Hi, I'm Johan van der Westhuizen.
Hi, I'm John Gerber.
Hi, I'm Daniel Dumini.
We are at Zwartkops, the arena of motorsport.
Today is different with 3 races
And tyre conservation is key.
This is round 6.
of Engen Volkswagen Cup.
It is indeed round 6. 2 more rounds after this, but 3 races to go here on the day. And interesting stuff going to be what's happening at the front end, particularly in qualifying, as we look to see if Jean Gerber can make it the perfect score for this season. He's been pushed hard, and there's a lot of guys who want to be at the front end of this field, including the entire Signature Motorsport team. Glassfoot and C-Track boys were pushing hard, and incredible stuff coming out of Darren Oates, moving himself into the top 6. Devin Robertson looking pretty tasty as well, and when the flag came out, the top 6 will be moving into the Super Pole, and Laramie will explain.
Qualifying is over for the day. Next up is Super Pole, where our top 6 fastest contenders have one shot to see if they are fast enough to take the coveted pole position.
They go out 3 at a time. It's the bottom 3 first, and it looks like there's going to be a little bit of an interesting change up there as Darren Oates looks to move up, but unfortunately he didn't go anywhere. He stayed exactly where he finished up. Jean Gerber, Devin Robertson, and Clinton Mercedes are now going to fight for the top 3 honours. Le Reserve is there as well, but a problem with his gearbox unfortunately threw him out very early on. And at the end of qualifying and the Super Pole, this is what the grid looks like. It's Devin Robertson on pole on a 1:13.1. That's an incredible lap time. His teammate is alongside him, so it's Signature Motorsport 1 and 2. Jeff Kruger moved up to 3rd, Jean Gerber dropped down to 4th, but he's first of the Masters. Darren Oates stayed in 5th place, as I mentioned, and Sean Le Reserve, with that problem, stays in 6th. His teammate, Tasman Pepper, top lady driver there in 7th, ahead of Jonathan Machotsi, the winner from PE. Jano van der Westhuizen there in 9th place. Good drive from the Cape Town boy, and Shorter ever improving in 10th. Benjamin Hubbig with a massive improvement in 11th, beating out Kuda Vazuri for 12th. Then it was Justin Oates with a little bit of issues, couldn't quite get the clear lap. Paulus Franken in 14th place doing a super job, ahead of Daniel Germany. In 15th place, one of the top finishes for him. Ethan Van Heerden though is right on his tail. Then it's Giordano Lupini, 3 of the youngsters just ahead of Trappist van Tonda.
Devin, first time on Super Bowl and pole mat for race 1 tomorrow.
Yeah, we managed to pull that out of the hat. I don't know how, but my Payan powered polo performed faultlessly the whole day today. Quickest in all the sessions, quickest in quali, and in Super Bowl as well, so I couldn't be happier.
Sure, alliteration aside, let's go racing. Final preparations now. Looks like a couple of youngsters getting involved there too. That's what they like at the Engen Volkswagen Cup. Kick the tyres, the Dunlop tyres of course, and light the fires. Let's see if we can get these guys onto track for 3 races here today at the Arena of Motorsport and round 6 of the Engen Volkswagen Cup. Remember the last time we came here? It was 3x3 into turn 1 and it ended up in tears for this man. Jean Gerber now looking to turn things around. From 4th place on the grid, he's the leading master and he's way ahead of any of his contenders there in the Masters Championship, but he's already starting to put that C-Track and Glassfoot car up the inside of the Universal Healthcare car of Jeff Kruger. Kruger's on the inside for turn 2 though, and on his tail is Jean Gerber's teammate. A good move here around the outside from Sean Le Reserve. He starts things off and gets a little bit shunted and goes wide and ends up in the tyres. That's not the way Le Reserve wanted to start this race, that's for sure. There was definitely a touch from the inside. Not quite sure who the car was on his right-hand side, but we'll get that, I'm sure, in a few minutes' time. As they head down towards turn 4, Le Reserve has only got back onto track now in turn 2. Jona van der Westhuizen with a great start, tucks in right behind the Oates boys and looks to get to the front end. Justin with a much better start there as well. Trappist van Tonda brings up the rear at this stage as they get into turn 5 and start to mix it up a little bit. Tasman Pepper looking to squeeze through there. She's fighting hard with Kuda Vazuri and Jonathan Machotsi, the 2 Volkswagen development drivers, all over the back and looking for a way through. Look at the way that Machotzi's pushing. He is using that win from PE and certainly looking like he is a little bit more dangerous than he was earlier on in the season. Daniel Germany has a big dive on the inside, goes up the inside of Justin Oates and squeezes Oates out just in the background. But at the front, it's Tasman Pepper, and she is defending to keep out Kuda Vazuri. His teammate's just up the road, and look at that. It's Jana van der Westhuizen just ahead of Kuda as we go into turn 1. In the middle of the 3 of them, it's Darren Oates, of course. Don't forget him. He's had a great start to this weekend and certainly has had massive improvements. But Jeff Kruger now looking to try and find a way back past the man who's just got through on him there, Jean Gerber. Gerber sits in third place behind the two Signature Motorsport boys and Devin Robertson in the Pie-In car. As he said earlier on, it's a perfect Pie-In car this weekend, and it certainly looks like no one is going to have an answer to him. Probably, maybe, Clinton Mercedes if he can find that little bit of a gap and close things down at the front. Darren Oates with a bit of battle scars on the sideline there. Looks like Dent knocked him out to get out of that car. And speaking of battle scars, there's huge dust into turn 4. Looks like that might have been Ethan Van Heerden. Yes, getting out of shape there in turn 4 and having to come through the field again. Hopefully got back on track relatively quickly. Clinton Mercedes sitting in second place, battling not only on the track but also off the track with a bit of a tummy bug this weekend, but still managing to just keep it all together here for the 3 races and hopefully maintain as high a position as possible, because remember, the battle in the championship is between these top 3 on track. Nice run there, and look at how things have closed up. Kuda Vazuri is now bringing up the rear end, and speaking of the rear end, right on Daniel Dumini's rear end is Justin Oates. He's basically a Fender trailer tucked in the back end there and doing a super job to maintain a great battle between the 2 youngsters. Hard on the brakes down into turn 2, and this of course is where everybody is watching for opportunities. If the door opens up here just like that, there's opportunities to dive up the inside. Simon Need taking a bit of strain. In the background you can see Le Reserve starting to close in and make up the ground he lost earlier on. This is Darren Oates' point of view. Oates on the inside, and he got a little tap, got forced wide, and that I think is what threw Sean Le Reserve off. Yes indeed. So a little bit of nudging and budging that headed into turn 2 there on the first lap. It put Darren into a little bit of a predicament, and he had nowhere to go. Speaking of nowhere to go, where is Shorter going? Getting out of shape at the top of the hill in turn 5 and heading towards Mercedes-Benz. Not the way you want to be putting it, and looks like Giordano Lupini has gone off in sympathy. The Moog suspension car, you can see just smacking that steering wheel going, come on, made a big mistake there. Now I've got to do so much more work to catch the back, and you know Shorter is going to be kicking himself for that mistake. Looks like he just ran out of space at the top end there. A little bit of pressure coming from behind, and he buckled under the pressure, but he eventually gets back on track now and looks to close things down. Down into turn 2 once again. Justin Oates fighting hard right in front of the Glassford stand. They took the tower there and having a super job to see all this action as Oates goes on the attack to try and catch Daniel Dumini right ahead of him in the Pepper Racing and SMD machine. Dumini having a super run, one of the best we've ever seen out of him, and Double D looking for a top 10 finish here. It'll be the first time this season he's got into the top 10. Machotzi hasn't quite found the same pace he had down in Port Elizabeth. Oh, is that a bumper on the sideline? I think that might belong to Ethan Van Heerden. Up onto the braking markers, we're on board here with Machotzi. He gets up and turns in nicely, gets a little bit sideways. In fact, that's a bit too much sideways. Darren Oates might capitalize. Darren does up the inside. Good move. Oh, it's very close between the two of them, but just enough space there. And you can see the new branding on the Seeker colors there. And what an awesome job from Darren just to maintain that little gap that was given to him. Here we go, back down on the brakes. Can he find a way through? It's going to be so close. These 2 drivers have gone hard all season long, and right on their tail, looking to pounce if something goes wrong, is Van der Westhuizen. And the last time we came to Zwartkops, he wasn't quite at the front end. This time he certainly is. Jano doing some incredible job around all the tracks that he's gone on. Remember, this is his first national season in the Engen Volkswagen Cup. He does a huge amount of work down at Killarney and participates not only in Engen Volkswagen Cup, but the local GTI Challenge as well. Hard on the brakes, how's this left, right, and Darren Oates is in the center. Can he keep them all out? This looks like deja vu from the first time we came to Zwartkops, except it was Jean Gerber who was in that situation last time. Machotzi gets forced wide, and he has to come in right behind his teammate, and Daniel Dumini squeezes through on him as well. The checkered flag is waiting. It's been a faultless run here for Darren Robertson, and the ex-champion is certainly looking like he could take the number 1 plate again this season. Hard into the final corner. Machotzi forces Daniel Dumini wide. Will Dumini stay ahead of him? No, he doesn't. Just getting pipped to the line there. Jonathan Machotzi coming through to finish up in 8th place. Dumini down in 9th. There is the top 8 though. Devin Robertson winning out over Clinton Mercedes. First of the Masters is Jean Gerber. Then it was Jeff Kruger.
Matt, your Moog Polo not quite having a good day this year.
We got a good drop off the line. We made up a couple positions into the top 8. We're sitting quite comfortably. The car was handling great. I think we had good pace. We were keeping up with the cars in front of us, and unfortunately I made a mistake going up to the top into turn 5 and ran wide and dropped all the way nearly to the back. So not the best of races, but hopefully we need to see where we're starting for race 2. So hopefully we can get much of the same, get another good drop off the line, make up a few good positions, and hopefully we can finish this race up at the front.
Sean, it looks like your voodoo has carried over to Zwartkops.
Yeah, unfortunately we had a repeat of Zwartkops last year, same round in fact. Yeah, unfortunate incident in corner 2 off the start. Somebody got a bit over eager, I think, and maybe locked up and hit one of the other competitors into me, bent the steering, so finished right near the back. I start near the back now because my time wasn't the greatest, so I'm hoping to pull a Zwartkops race 2 from last year. Let's see what the gods have in store for us.
Join us after the break for some more action from the Engen Volkswagen Cup.